looks really good though. I'm pretty happy with it. The reason I'm not clamping it is because I have to manipulate this form so fast, and we don't have a ton of quick release clamps that will let you just like kunk and then release it, and then mostly because they don't do much for you. They're not very strong. They are great, however, for doing exactly the job I just described, right? Okay, so here's a portion of it. Cool. Right?
Fancy.
Very fancy. Now we're going to do the other side. And some of these things that are going to be too long, I'm just going to go here and here.
I'm gonna hold it real quick.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, very nice. So what will happen, there is a little bit of spring in this. That's not a bad thing. So when I go ahead and screw this together, it's going to have like, it's going to be a little bit like a drum in a good way, not in a bad way. All right.
My husband said there's never anything not good about a drum.
I disagree. When it is,
That's why his studio's in the basement.
when it is part of a circle and full of hippies, I'm gonna say it's not great. Sorry, hippies. I often tell the story that I absolutely was positive that it was over with my college boyfriend when he came back from Australia with a didgeridoo, and we carried it around hoping for a spontaneous drum circle. I was like, dude, I got my didge, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What the hell happened to you? Your didge. And he never learned how to play it well. He just sort of was like, yeah. It's like, wow, you've got a new thing to be mediocre at. That's great. Yeah. He went to a private liberal arts college in my home state that he liked to tell everyone was the Harvard of the Midwest. It was just like, oh, the Harvard in the Midwest, huh? He said that to my friend Jonathan, who had gone to Yale. And he was like, yeah, I went to Yale, which is, you know, like the Yale of the world. And I was like, Johnny, tell him. Oh. Never date guys named Greg.
Or any J names.
Or what?
J names.
J names?
Yeah.
Really?
Always opposite.
No, my dad was a Joe.
Well,
My
Joe's are
Justin.
nice, but it's like Justin, Jack, Jackson. Yeah.
Some Jakes. Not all Jakes. Some Jakes.
I haven't met a Jake yet, so.
I have a Jake brother-in-law. It's lovely. Limited Jakes. You know what I'm finding is horrible is that Sarahs are becoming evil people. Like they're like this bitch Sarah, and then it's like, whoa, shit. The sheer number of Am I the Assholes where the villain's name is Sarah.
Sarah,
Say what?
Sarah, am I the asshole?
Yes, exactly. Or my stupid ass sister-in-law, Sarah. 36. Yeah. Well, here we're putting together our ottoman frame. I'm pretty confident that this is in the right place. Do that right there. And this right here. Nice. I know it makes a horrible sound, but it is so good. It means it's actually in there the way it's supposed to be. Wait. See if she was looking for something specific. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. As soon as this part's done and I put the glue on it, I can go ahead. I don't have to wait for the glue to dry because the screws are like the thing that's holding it together. I can go right into webbing this bitch. Haha. So. Alright, so that one wanted to actually travel on me a little, so I'm going to drill into a different one. You want to travel too. What's wrong with you? Okay. When it's starting to disobey in a way that I don't like, that I can easily fix with a clamp, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get one of the longer Bessies with the square head, and I'm going to put it on the end here, and I'm going to pull this into alignment. And then I don't have to worry about it being correct. It will just be correct.
Oh.
What's up? What's up? Alright. Make it nice and square. Don't you do that to me now. Urgh. Before I get too much clamping pressure down, I'm also going to pull it into plane this way because it will help to keep it tight against the other side too. I don't love that. Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay. It is putting a little too much pressure on the bottom. Even though this is a straight thing, it's canted ever so slightly, and so it's pushing that bottom in. But what that means is that I just got to make sure I'm doing the top one first. Getting those in line. Right there, okay. I'm gonna just make sure this is not wildly out of square. It's not wildly out, but it's not amazing either. It's pretty, it's something I can fix. So, try this again. All right. Now I can take that off. Yeah. And if I need to, make an adjustment on the next one. This is my Julia Child partially cooked turkey over here. The rutabagas go in next. It will be so delicious. Sorry, I don't know why. I find Julia Child's voice to be as completely entertaining as it is. I think it's because she sounds like a goose. Like, I just sort of imagine that she is Mother Goose somehow. And like, yeah, she goes out to her farmyard and is like, well, animals, which one of you will be eaten today? And they all happily volunteer because they're like, take me, Mama. Oh, God. You guys are all like, my professor's so fucking weird. I don't even know what's happening. So got to do the corners there too. So once more. It was 1 1.5 and 2 7/8. 1.5, 2 7/8. You can do it. You can do it, Cammie. You all can do it. I promise.
Did you catch me on Monday taking my 2.5 hour long nap on the couch?
I was a little worried about you. I was like, wow, Cammie's been asleep for a while.
Yeah,
But did it
I'm really good at it.
Did it help?
Yeah.
great?
I wasn't falling asleep during art history, so that's all that matters.
Very important to not fall asleep during art history. All right, so
I kind of forgot to put the couch back out in the hallway.
it's fine. You guys are using it in there. I'll just pretend it's
And the sunlight was like shining
Oh,
through
yes,
the
and
window.
nice and warm.
It's so
I also have a cover here if I need it. It's just a fan cover really just for sleeping. Like,
I need a quarter? Maybe? Just make some lines first and then I'll measure here. All mark making comes with a sound effect. Just for what it's worth. Very beautiful. One and 1/8. Well, 3/16, but 6 and 1. If I do that, I'll be marking just a little bit. I hope this also kind of models for you guys how, like, one thing builds on the next. Like, I determine it one time. I don't have to like reinvent the wheel every fucking time, right? I've got that figured out. Oh, what were those measurements? Why would I remeasure over here? Why don't I just measure that and then transfer that over here? It's just, these are the things that save us time. Are they perfect? No. But this is not the woodworking that we will be doing in cabinets and case goods. That's the shit that makes you want to tear your hair out.
are we doing that next semester?
Cabinets and case goods, babies. How to make really fancy shit. Drawers, doors, hinges, carcasses. Gordon Data.
Is that carcasses or carcass?
Carcasses. Definitely carcasses. Just like it's octopuses, apparently, and not octopi. Who knew? Marine biologists, apparently. All good. 2 and 2. That guy out, pull this guy in. Get these dudes set up. Nice. Alright. Yeah, this is the one I'm gonna have a hard time with. It just wants to be a little bit of a bastard. Whereas you are gorgeous and want to cooperate. I'm just putting like a line of blue. I'm not going, insane with it. Remember, more glue does not always equal better results.
Yeah, I wear sweatpants. It's like, I'm expecting it to be freezing, like it has been. And
Like it has been. Lisa, would you check and see if there are windows open in the living room?
I remember you opened that yesterday too.
No, I want you to close them if they're open. Another. It's entirely possible. In fact, I might do that. Woo. Guys will be like, why is she going to pee 15 times this class period?
They're all closed.
Oh wow, that is weird. Alright, there we go. Pushing it in right there. If you drill through a surface where there's glue in between, please make sure you clean out the flutes when you're done with your drilling, because it will harden in there and it'll rust. So all I'm doing is not too much surface area here, but it's okay to do that, to drill through the wet glue layer, as long as you're cleaning it out more or less immediately. Okay, so that is most of it. It is not all of it. We are at a very important juncture now where we have to determine if this is actually square. Anybody want to tell me how we do that?
Measure the diagonals.
Measure the diagonals, exactly. So I am just going to pop this dude on the outside like that. And then I come to the inside corner. This is 42 and a half, like perfectly. Wow. Wowza. Woohoo. And you are 42 and a half. Pretty much perfectly. Holy shit balls. So, because it is as perfect as it is, while it's in this position, I'm going to go ahead and drill out for this dude. Because here's a little support dude. It will, in theory, fit perfectly between here. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
When it comes together.
I love it when that happens. It's like kismet. So here's the thing, keeping it at the right height. Something tells me that it's gonna be just about the same. It's not perfect, but it's like a 16th to an 8th above where that line is. It's still within tolerance. So I'm gonna be able to like glue and screw this essentially without any difficulty. Holy crap. What the fuck? I love it when it's just lovely when things work. Alright, so if I'm being extra anal, here's the thing you can do. If you are at all concerned about something twisting or otherwise moving on you, you can take 2 boards over here and clamp them in place to keep this from slipping any way at all. Or you can do one on each end so that you can push all the way against the thing, but you can establish a perfect 90 degrees boundary that you can then, use. And I think I'm gonna do that just to demonstrate it. Why not? It's gonna help. So grab 2 little clamps. I just grabbed a couple of clamping pads out of the drawer because I don't really need this to be, I don't need these to be perfect. I need an edge to be flat and 90, right? So I'm gonna set this guy up to help me establish that 90. There we go. And I'm gonna bring this over until it hits the edge there. Isn't that beautiful? gonna do my damnedest to clamp it with the handle in, since I am trying to drill from the outside. If I have the handle out here, I'm gonna be like, right? So I'm also gonna double check, did it actually stay square? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Same thing. Little doodle there. Here, hello. It will be much easier. Sarah Mark. Of course, I had to grab one that was entirely wound in there. I blame the intro kids. No. Moving that back over. Tighten that up. Get that in line. Come on, gorgeous. I think this one is going to respond to flattery more than swearing. Yes, okay, that is what I want. Okay, it's in place. Yeah, I don't have any of this like piloted or determined to be up or down. So I'm just gonna pick a side. Again, what I should do is look for that bow or that crowning. If this has a crown.
You got arrow on the side.
Yeah, but that was to indicate to me that, like, where I was cutting it. I was making sure that I didn't mistake it for this one, you know? All right, so I've got an even support below, I've got an even support to the side. I'm essentially gonna pull kind of this way as I'm doing my piloting to make sure that everything is correct. Well, it looks good, so let's see what happens. Because I have something to press against, I'm less concerned about it needing a correction. It's sitting in there really beautifully, so I went ahead and did both pilots at the same time. Come on. I know, horrible sound, horrible sound, but does the job. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this one off because it's springing just a tiny bit right there. And I'm gonna do that. Look at that. I'm gonna just make sure the bottom is where it needs to be. And I'm just gonna clamp that to that side. Look at the cleverness, if she does say so herself. And I'm gonna come around to the other side. Pardon me, thank you. Hi.
There's somebody at the door.
What's up, Kyle? Yeah, of course.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, look at it, it's so pretty. It is actually really pretty. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So this is gonna give me a nice firm base to then build up, more or less. I am gonna build out a little bit, but not much. I'm obviously gonna be building this way. This also gives me a really great, like, essentially three-sided mortise for what?
You have a board still on the bottom.
Oh,
It's stuck.
it is.
I was trying to look.
It's exactly the right size. So, let's see. It'll tap out.
There you go.
There we go. hey, it fit really nicely.
Fit.
But what I was saying is that there's like a side here and a side here and a side at the top of this. When I go to put my leg in, I'm going to be referencing all three of those surfaces to help give it stability. Does everyone kind of understand how I'm gonna like make this leg? Sort of. It'll make more sense in a bit. Trust me, it'll be fine. So in the meantime, I need to quick finish the gluing portion of this. So again, if you want to take 5 minutes, it's going to take a minute for me to get to this point. But yeah, we're almost there. Almost there. It's so cute. I love it so much. Yep. So what I am going to do is loosen. I'm not even going to fully remove. I'm just going to. That is going to allow me, in theory, that one comes up. Tammy, grab my coffee. Thank you. Well,
Julian was in there today.
was he? Nice.
Maybe something.
So because I do have all these reference holes, I'm not concerned about it going back together incorrectly. They're gonna want to go back exactly where they were. If I over drilled for some reason, or if I had tried to drill this a couple of different times with varying degrees of success, it would be a problem, right? As it stands, this should go back exactly as it was. So I'm going to taking all the debris off that end there, putting glue, and some glue, and some glue. And I'm just going to essentially put the whole thing back down.
You had one in reserve?
Yup. These guys they know the dangers of me being uncaffeinated. And they're just like, not on our watch. Did you see how that side pulled up with me barely pushing? It's because it wants to go back in that same screw hole. So I shouldn't need to do too much to get this to actually be the same. Okay, this is the one that might be a little bit of a bastard. So, yeah, over. There it is. That's one side. Oops, sorry. Hot as balls. This is killing me. What the fuck, man? Sorry. I'm very cranky about it. It's so cold in here normally. I dressed for it. I'm wearing like long socks and everything. And thank you. Very cute. With this shirt, I was like, oh.
So how much different would this be if you did plywood for the frame instead?
I'm sorry?
How much different would this be if you did plywood for the frame?
All of the parts would be the same. You would just have the option to put it together in a different way. So you would be gluing and like stapling, which is easier and faster. You don't have to drill and pilot and do all of that nonsense. What?
How different is it for making like round frames?
So with a round frame, what you would do is you stack laminate
Okay.
to get whatever you need. Okay. it's only different in that, like, there are no corners. I mean, I don't know how else to put
So,
it.
like, for like, corner supports, it won't really have corner supports.
It won't
at
have
all?
corner supports. It might have supports between legs, depending on how the legs are attached. But, yeah, if it's round. The thing to also be cautious of with a round form is that it not beat up your entire time, because you have to make a round frame, which will suck. It won't suck, but like it's going to involve a lot more time than you think. You know what I mean? Alright, that one's loose. That one's loose. There we go. Alright, made it. Again, I'm just gonna get all this free off.
Me? What?
Like someone who can repair laptop screens.
Cynthia is going to 1 year, but I don't know. Hers might be a school one. Because Cynthia's laptop. I don't know. I think Cynthia's
have, like,
laptop
geeks?
is also messed up.
Do they have like student geeks on campus? You know what I mean?
Go to the engineering department.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think one of the
Yeah, can y'all pay you guys? Can y'all pay for
computer
laptop
science
screens?
people?
Have that.
That accent.
Please.
You know that-
money.
Are you familiar with the Vine where,
Oh yeah, I had Vine, so.
well, the kid who goes, "You do drugs without me?
Yeah.
What is this? Democracy?"
It saddens me that the generations like now didn't know what Vine was. I like grew up on Vine. It was so good. So many good memes.
Oh my god. When he starts talking in the southern accent, like midway through, that's what you sounded like just now.
She's a mystery girl. When Cynthia got her laptop, was she getting her personal laptop or the school laptop? She's a personal.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Because her laptop screen messed up, and I know Cynthia had issues with her.
Here, I think it was the school one.
Okay, that's fine.
So what I did was my laptop got messed up, and the keyboard went out, and my pattern was all messed up. This Boston Fox, sorry, that's the closest one.
Yeah.
You break like fix, and they were very reasonable to go in. And unfortunately, usually you have to take 2 trips for it, but they would go in, give you an estimate of what it is. They have part areas like that. There was, I think, new battery and new computer. I believe it was $300, which I just decided was cheaper than buying a new computer.
But it's six.
But this is what happened, by the way, that same thing happened on my car. She closed it on something. And she did, not the same company, but a similar thing. And they just literally, they got it now, that they just put it in a new one.
Okay.
$300.
They were trying to put a use like MacBook
Oh shit, right?
And I was like, how would you
And
get a
is that a local guy?
You would use and stable it simultaneously.
And he's like a
Yeah.
small.
It would. I'm only doing it like
I
this
would recommend.
because of the screws.
You
I just
break
find
like
it's
fix
easier to
and
make sure I
plug
get
it.
everything
They'll
square
tell them
and
what
then
you wanna
center.
do.
Tell them your
And they'll
exact
tell you right.
Plywood, it's
That's
so
what
much
they did with
easier
me.
to
They
just
told
be
me
like,
it was,
all right, it's good, it's fine.
Most of the cost.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? I think it's
Probably plywood. The reason being that it doesn't expand and contract. You know, it's a wood-like product. I can vary its shape and size a little more easily. So like if I wanted this to be a much taller piece,
Yeah,
I would just make a taller side, you know? If I start to get much taller sides going
She's in.
at a solid wood, you know, it's gonna be like,
Not.
and that's a problem.
They don't have a break.
Exactly. Fewer variables. And it doesn't need to be solid. It doesn't. It could be anything. And this is super heavy. And right now, if this was plywood, it would probably weigh half this. So, you know, this is not going to be a lightweight piece,
I think I need a
which is absurd.
like, okay, maybe you do, but.
All right, I still have to screw my little side dudes in here. But I'm gonna do it a little differently so you can see what that looks like. I'm just gonna do it from the inside. Sometimes you cannot attach things from the outside for whatever reason. Like, it's not gonna look correct, for example. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pick a spot. I went straight through. I will probably eventually countersink it. I'm just not gonna do it right this second. Look at that, it's holding.
And that side you're not gluing, right?
This is the side I'm not gluing. The idea is that if this piece itself needs to expand and contract, it can do that without breaking. So this screw is essentially just holding it down. Actually, I am gonna countersink that after I do the other ones. But I could do the same thing out here. You know, it doesn't matter which side it's coming in from. It's just good that you guys see multiple ways of approaching this, because sometimes this is like finished and gorgeous, you know? And you gotta be able to put your corner braces in somehow. See, like I punched through the side there, you know? It's another thing, you gotta be careful. See, buddy? Oh, hey, Kyle, go see Jeannie. She had a question about something, I don't remember what. Oh god. Typing shit. Sorry. Rules that you never knew you were gonna need. Don't put your butt on your kids. Your leg was shaking like crazy.
I was trying to like turn, but my leg was so stuck to this
That one was super hot.
that like
It was
it
dumb.
was causing my entire leg to like shake as I was like scooting. And like I looked insane.
They're like, she's so excited. No, I know.
No, my
What are you doing Sunday? I told you I could do it always off Sunday.
I know, and I gotta get my laptop.
That's the only day.
That's when my daddy comes up here. Comes up once every 2 weeks.
I need to meet this man every day. No, not Sunday.
My daddy?
Tomorrow.
He's crazy.
All right, let's try that again without burning our hand.
This would be
Yeah, it's all right. It was stupid. I forgot that I had done 4 holes in a row, so it was going to be extra hot.
I've never done that ever in my life.
Never, I'm sure. Very few people ever do such a foolish thing as grabbing a hot drill bit.
Well, I don't always watch for solder bits. Solder? I have clothes that have solder embedded in it.
That's style.
It's my style when I'm doing stainless. Oh,
My husband's at my
oh my gosh.
I'm trying to do
Yes. I love saying.
For fuck's sake, come on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's together.
Yay!
100% together all the way. And so now comes the next step, which is webbing. Yay, webbing. First layer is the web.
Webbing.
Webbing.
Isn't that what we do on the internet? Webbing?
Boo.
Something. Maybe. Sorry, I have homework. I'm just gonna. I have homework through Thursday. I'm not gonna have that.
Tomorrow?
is webbing.
Thank you.
Look at it. There's so much of
Ah.
it. This is for everybody. Don't go too crazy with it. If you do, we got to get more. Whatever. Normally, it wouldn't be a big deal because Murray Sewing Center carries it. That's a problem, now isn't it? What the whole point of this is to give us something to kind of like, base everything else off of and build up, right? It's gonna be under tension, of course, so I'm gonna need my stretcher for it. But I find it's kind of a good idea to plan out what I need beforehand in terms of like how my spacing is gonna go. This does not have to be so close that there's no holes at all. There can be holes, it's fine. It just can't be so many that the padding wants to start to drop between it. Remember that chair?
Oh, yeah.
That is what was wrong with that chair in some ways. It's like that, there was just space. No good, no good. Yeah?
Is mowing, not mowing, so, whatever, Murray Sewing Center, okay.
Okay.
Is that the only place that has webbing around the
Around here, yeah.
Mhm.
Since Reed Interiors stopped doing like retail sales.
Yeah.
Yes. But I can get more. That's, I just have to order things, so you guys
Mhm.
gotta let me know
when we're going?
when we're getting low. Yeah. I have a little bit of my personal stash too that I can throw in,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's just hemp webbing. It's
Okay.
all good. So like I said, I am gonna be using this stapler for it. Oh, note about pneumatics. So pneumatics. So graceful. Oh my god. Pneumatics, the compressed air line has moisture in it. Everyone has probably witnessed this, right? We have to occasionally drain the tank of moisture to keep it from rusting out from the inside. It will bind up and seize all of your pneumatic tools if you don't regularly put a little pneumatic oil in it. So while this looks like it is just not been put away, that's where this lives, is over by where we turn on our pneumatic stuff. So before you begin, put 1 drop in at the very least. If you know it hasn't been used in a million years, 2, maybe 3. And just, let gravity do its thing for a moment. Everyone knows how to turn on the air, yes? Okay. Remember, handle in line means it's open, handle across means it's closed. Come on, you little fucker. Classy lady. I can smell that I need to empty the tank. It smells like humidity. Okay, there we go. Hello, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors and the gooseneck webbing stretcher, because it's the good one.
So do you want me to empty the tank this afternoon?
Fuck yes.
I have that to go. I haven't done it.
So what tool is she using?
Sorry. It's just because we
I think that half-inch,
you have them.
the half-inch ones, but I don't know that she got the stuff for it.
So,
So the question was, is that the half-inch stapler you're using?
yes. 1/2-inch stapler, these have 3/8-inch legs. So, when you're doing this, if you are able to do it in a way that lets you waste as little of this as possible, that would be great. So what I like to do is, instead of like pre-cutting anything, I work right off of the roll. And that really helps to keep everything, the way, like the most effective use of material that I can come up with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop in a couple of staples this way, and then I'm gonna pull it over. And I'm gonna do a double row of staples. You do have to be careful not to over staple this stuff, because it will, eventually kind of cut a hole in it, weirdly enough. Oh yeah, these are shitty. What's up, shitty? Shitty scissors. I'm just trying to give it a square end because of my OCD. I'm not actually OCD, but I do like a nice square end. All right, so all I'm gonna do here is like 4 across. This is also gonna be loud. You guys are gonna want to, over the course of this, wear your headphones, okay? Because it's just that over and over again. I think, just looking at that I need to lighten up my pressure a little bit. If you like punch through this, like I would not be pressing and stapling at the same time because it's going to actually cut right through the fabric. Pressure is over here. There's this little gauge. Oh yeah, that's way too high. Currently it's set at 110. That's gonna be better 190, somewhere in there. So you turn this thing. Let's try 100. See what that does.
Is it always best to start webbing in the middle?
I'm finding it to be a good idea just because I'm gonna build symmetrically off of it. Sometimes it won't accommodate that though. Did you notice how I was kind of laying it out side by side beforehand? I wanted to make sure that if I started in the middle, I wasn't gonna have some weird ass like spacing here. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. I'm just anchoring it. I'm not doing anything too fancy. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is sometimes you want to angle the stapler so you're not stapling in a line that's going to split your wood, right? So offsetting things a little bit, not a bad idea. All right, so got that more or less pinned down, and that's when I fold this over. So I've got 2 layers of it right here, okay? Then I'm really gonna go to town. Right at the edge. And like a secondary one right there. That's adequate for that side. You can overstaple. You can. This is not overstapling, believe it or not. Once I have one side down, in this case, I'm actually just going to turn the whole frame so you guys can continue to see what I've got going on. Hello, darling. Of course, when you're doing this, you normally just like walk around the work and maybe not have a bunch of shit laying here. That would be a wise maneuver. All right, so what you're gonna do is the gooseneck stretcher works best. What you can do is actually kind of like set it on the edge, see that? Right in the middle where you want it. Place your webbing over that and just kind of pull until it engages on those pins. See it? At that point, then you can apply some pressure and that turns it into something under tension. Be cautious of overdoing it, because as you go across, if you're not like what can happen if you're like really pulling from the ends here, the center will end up being loose. Then, like it just sort of doesn't quite do it. So I'm going to lower this now so that this is actually at my height. See that? I can still pick it up. Doesn't have to be right on the edge. Just know that it's in a good place then. And just doing my best to keep it as centered as I can. It's not super critical if it's not centered, but I like that. Okay. Same thing. But in this case, I go, put it, I'm doing those diagonal, just mostly so it doesn't interfere with the other staples. Again, do whatever works for you, but same thing, I'm folding it over, bringing it back up. 2 rows of staples. And then I cut it. And look, like that's essentially zero waste right there. That's part of the reason that I like the gooseneck stretcher as much as I do, it's much harder in a lot of ways. You need extra in order to use the other one because the points are back here, right? So it has to be at least 6 inches longer every time than it needs to be here. Fun. Okay, so now in terms of figuring out what I got going on from there, I kind of like to, if I've got scrap at this point, it's not a bad idea to kind of lay out scrap and be like, okay, the spacing's gonna look like whatever. There's that one, and then, yeah, okay, so there'll be 3 on each side. Cool. But knowing that, the question is, where do they go? I personally like to give myself little guidelines where the outside of the webbing is going to sit, just to keep it from being all cockeyed. You know, because you can, in fact, put the wrong kind of tension on this, the same way you can any other thing that you're applying tension to. So if this starts to go diagonal or do something, you know, weird, it ain't no good. So I'm gonna give myself 2 little guides. I don't consider this wasteful because I'm just using such a small amount. And I'll just use the end here as well. So if I do that and that, that, what does that spacing look like? And I can just kind of, okay, I like that. There's about 1.25 inches in between each one of these. Here's my pencil, and I'm just gonna say there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one here. So even if, and then I also like to kind of say, so I can tell what my marks are. See that? So I'm gonna have webbing here. I will generally do all of one side before I turn into the other. Not all of one side this way, but all of one direction. So everything across will happen, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do the other stuff.
Doesn't make any difference how close you are to this edge of the triangle.
It does. If I'm over this, I cannot weave the other way in. I want to leave a gap. Even if it's a gap that's that size. If I cannot get the webbing through in the other direction, that's a problem. Because they're woven together. Alright, so this side, hello beautiful. I could measure this if I wanted to be super anal about it. I'm just gonna eyeball it. So this is one of those things that often people are using mallets for as well, is to really get this to lay flat. I'm just using the handle of the stretcher for that. If you hit another staple, there it'll pop up. See that? It just rolled right up. So I do have to pull that one. I'm trying to remember if I've got a pair of pliers out here or not. When do you want to grab a snip for me? Thank you, Isa. So remember those side pliers or side snips? That would work just fine for this. Ta-da! Certain things that you really just should have on hand. So I just moved that one up and angled it in so it won't blow out the outside. I am going to just move to the other side for this one because I don't want to make myself insane. Don't put your blood on the kids.
Scoop bags.
Sorry. Alright, so same thing. Pop it up. Pop that down. So it's on your spikes. And then apply some pressure. looks pretty square to me. If it's off, it's only by a tiny bit. So, again.
Easy looking.
You can see why you would want to wear headphones after a while. If you're working on something really big and hollow, it'll just boom, boom, boom like a drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
What staple was that again?
This is the 1/2-inch crown stapler. And because I'm already on this side, I'm just gonna base that off of that one. Same thing. So 2 fingers, 2 fingers. Technical. Accurate. After breaking 2 more nails yesterday, I cut all my nails off. So it was just like, it's too much. It was time. Exactly. The world was like, nope, cut off your fingernails. Come on. So I'm not pushing down like, I'm pushing down enough so that I know that it's in the place that I want it, not so much that I'm like applying extra force to like compress this. Like I said, it's very easy to have too much pressure on one of these things to the point that the staple itself cuts right through the material.
Yeah, you won't believe how many people had a hard time turning that drill press on yesterday because of their nails.
I'm telling you, poor 80.
Yeah.
Man, she is gonna have the hardest fucking time with every switch in this place.
If I have a small air compressor at home, would it run that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like a pancake compressor, like little dude.
Yeah, little tank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All you need is the hookups for it. So.
Okey-doke. I've been using it to clean my shop.
Yeah, dude.
It should have a maximum PSI setting
Yep.
somewhere on it, so.
Okay.
So you can see that there's also going to be a line for air tools, okay? I do have multiple hoses, so like if you want to use different tools, that's great. But you can please be mindful of the fact that we've got to share a lot of stuff. I am going to buy us a couple. The plan is to buy us a couple of extra upholstery staplers, just because they're something that you end up needing for an extended period. Like once you're done with your webbing, like you really don't use this one anymore. I ran out. So, you beautiful things. I got us 2 boxes of these staples so that hopefully we should not run out. That hit the stapler twice there. There you are. Don't leave staples that are like not fully engaged in your work, because all it's going to do is damage the fabric or the foam or some other thing. Just remove them. Yeah, there we go. Fascinating, isn't it? What time have we got?
10:30.
Oh, we're still doing okay then. I might actually get through this. I don't know that I will, but I might. Move this guy over here, because this is my original thingy. Technical term, original thingy.
How long is your frame?
35, 24. I went with 35 and 24 because the paper is 35 inches wide. And I was like, well, what looks good with that? That was the entire decision making on that one. And then I had all of this milled poplar that I wasn't gonna end up using, so worked out for the best. Cool. Don't need to go too crazy with it, you know, just gotta make sure that it's attached enough, right? So I'm not gonna have like 10 million staples in this, but I'm gonna have enough staples. You're gonna be able to tell the difference, I promise.
Are there different types or grades of webbing?
Yes, but I could not tell you what the differences are. Like, I think whatever the color is that's in there indicates whatever grade it is. But to be fair, I haven't found a difference in like function between the different colors, so maybe not. Maybe I'm just inventing that, and you know. It's entirely possible. If I were a production upholsterer, I would be racing through this right now. I'm being a little more cautious, mostly because I'm demonstrating, you know? Alright, back over here. It's a good idea to test as you're going because like I said, sometimes they start to lose a little bit of tension as you add more because now it's like taking up some of the load. So if anything, you can like overdo the first ones a little bit because they will loosen up as you do the ones going to the outside.
Oh, I just thought of something.
What's that?
Out of floor tom, I could make a stool. Yes.
Indeed.
Look nice. That would look nice.
Yeah, it would. So if I had a mallet, I'd probably just smack it down, but burnishing it down helps too. So the thing that I don't want is for this to creep over the edge. That would be bad. Like, it's gotta really be within the boundary of the frame. Alrighty. So good. Just trying to bring it a little more into square. If I'm really being anal about it, I'll measure and I'll mark all of them. Like, because truly for the like longevity of the piece, if there is equal pressure on this thing, it'll be better. So if I wanted to be very, very specific, I could measure off every single one of these just to make sure that they're going the way that they're supposed to, or the way that I want them to. Let's see. But, you know, for something like this, this is close enough. If this was much larger, I probably would be a little more inclined to make sure everything was exactly the same. Yeah, I blew out the inside on that one. As I'm going to the inside one, I'm trying to angle it in just a little bit, just in case. Because I came out the side on this one. Hopefully, it's the only one. Yeah, I think it might be. Scissors are right there. Couldn't see them. Not tall enough. Okay. Just a few more. Almost there. Can you unwrap me a couple times here? Thank you. Put that over there, because that's where I'm going to need it next. So you can see there's a gap. That is intentional. This gap is for me to be able to go all the way across. You know, getting in and all that good stuff. All right. That one didn't catch. It bounced off of another staple. It's going to be really obvious when that happens because they're either going to distort or pop up or just look wrong. So when that happens, I'm going to try moving over. Yeah, there we go. All right. Cool. You can also see why it would be a really great thing to be working on a smaller surface that's mobile. Like, okay, I'm just gonna spin this thing around. Things that you can raise and lower. Like I said, if like professional upholsterers often have tables that are on pneumatics that they can raise and lower very easily. It just makes a difference, you know? Let's see, there we go. Let's see, oh, that one was weird. Really? Sorry. I pressed the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm already out. Sorry, kids. Didn't mean to scare anyone. But that does tell you, remember, there's no safety on this one. Shot straight up in the air. Absolutely nothing, thankfully. Oh, Lord. What's happening? Oh, nothing. I was just shooting small little things at our students. It's fine. Fingers, looks good. Yeah, I gotta make sure to at least get one going the other way so you guys can see how that operates, because it's a little different once you have to start weaving things. being a little more anal about this one, only because I didn't do as good a job folding this as I should have. It's creeping out just a tiny bit. Therefore, really slipped on me. Thank you. I should just have a little tool belt. Put everything in there. But all right, there we go. Good. I moved it over just a little bit, didn't I? That's all right. Thank you. Just use it like that for a moment. Bent. Staples there. Try really hard not to cut your fabric when you're pulling staples. It can be kind of difficult, but it's possible. All right, good enough. All right, that's one direction. Ooh, one direction. I know, it's stupid, I'm sorry.
No, I used to be obsessed with being young me.
Say what?
I used to be obsessed with like so young me.
Aw, young you is so excited right now.
Elementary school Alexis.
All right, so I gotta do the same thing with this one in that I have to figure out how many across this is gonna be. The spacing doesn't have to be the same in both directions. It can be wider in one and narrower in another if necessary. I'm looking for my little scraps, they're in here. Hello, there's one. Okay, there's one. But like I said, you can also like kind of fold it like this and be like, okay, there's 2 and 3. I think this is gonna take 5, honestly. So I'm gonna, again, start in the center. And I am gonna mark my center just for the sake of, wow, can't find anything. This is why you need to like clean up as you go, genuinely. Genuinely. So 24 1/8. Still gonna do 12 and 12. Yep, because it is in fact right in between those two. So here's where you gotta pay attention. Before you start, you have to weave it. Before you start, you have to weave it. You don't staple one end and then do your best to like weave the whole thing through. That sucks. So I'm gonna go over that first one there, keeping clear of that divider.
Why do you have to?
Because I'm not going to be able to pass the entire thing through, and I don't want to waste any of this. I could just cut a length of it and do whatever, but I'm going to cut off precious yardage that is going to add up. And so in order to do this in the most cost-effective way, I am doing it right off of the roll instead. So that's going to allow me to anchor one end down, do the other end exactly the same way, and cut it, and not have to worry about, you know, all of this other stuff.
Get this. You go get moving things.
Like, why do you interlace them structurally? Like, is that better structurally?
Yeah, this helps to keep the whole thing from moving. There's friction that happens as they like interlock. In theory too, if you want to be really crazy about it, you can even like sew your corners so that it wants to move even less. But regardless, I'm just gonna do this right here. Thank you. Go team. Thanks, Idiot. So there's my center. And in this case, I'm gonna do both ends like this, essentially. You know, where I've got it folded up to the inside. This is pretty and I love it, but you know, ultimately, you do what you gotta. And I didn't give myself much on this end, but I'm being stingy, so. Looks good. Just making sure. I don't want to have to walk around it again. How many times does she walk around this thing? I'm gonna have like 30,000 steps by the end of the day. It's gonna be sad. All right. So in this case, because I really kind of can't see my center mark, I do want this to be center. So I'm just gonna kind of do one of these and say that's 10 3/8. 10 1/4, so I'm going to move it a 16th this way. See how that works? Math. Who knew? Get there. Remember, when you're doing this professionally, you get paid by the piece. You're not getting paid by the hour. So it's not like you'll be like, this took me 700 hours, and therefore it should cost $50,000. So in many cases, as long as you're comfortable with the process, speed is a good thing because you can get done faster, which means you get to start another thing sooner, which means you make a little more money. Yeah, it's the whole thing. All right, now you have to make sure that for the next one, you go opposite. We're actually weaving here. So over, under, alternately, under, over. Yeah, I can imagine potentially doing just 3 be bad. This is definitely a 5er, for sure. So, just wanna see if that little scrap, is it still, yep, there it is. I just wanna make sure that I'm thinking about this correctly. Yeah, I'm good with that, okay. So, still doing okay on time, that's crazy. This is what happens when I prep beforehand. Is we actually do things in a semi-timely fashion. Nice. really? Wow, we're going through it. I'm glad I bought 2 boxes. We need more? I'll go get more. I'm glad to know that Lowe's actually has them. I'm shocked, I tell you.
And now you know where they are.
Yeah, well, I don't know that they're gonna stock them down below. I'll be like, you need to go up to aisle 16, bay 5. Excuse me. It's pass load 1001. No. What's awesome is I have the same dude helping me who did the all of the cordless drills. I had to, like, he was on a ladder, came back, stopped getting me all these cordless drills, and I was just like, bro, you just keep climbing ladders for me, don't you? He's like, drill lady. I'm like, yep. Drill lady. That's how I love to be known. What is that? Okay, that's not good. Are those little pliers over there? Or the little snips? Are they under this, perchance? Are they in my hand? No. Where did they go? Little wire cutters? There they are, right there. Ooh, there you go. So there's a pin nail sticking out of the table. Yeah, I was right. That fucking sucked. Now, let's do this again. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys see how this would be really wasteful if, like, you had to just cut long dudes in the first place and then be like, oh, fuck, now I've got to cut off 4 inches and then another 4 inches. I could if I wanted to tuck it under like that. That'd be cute, but I'm not going to. It would be cute. Don't even pretend it wouldn't be. Just making sure this is all good.
I can't stand